Hello, welcome to our final live stream. Today is the last day to register for art classes. If you've missed it all, I'm just going to give you a quick overview and I'll just tell you all this stuff. I'm going to show you a sneak peek of September's box that's going to be coming and the kids that are in person, what they're going to be enjoying. And if you're wondering what qualifies me to teach your kids art, I'm going to share a little bit about that. I'm going to review all the live streams we had because I've done some fun stuff for you and your kids, and I have a new student to add to my palette. So I'm going to get started. If you don't know, if you're new, I teach art classes to homeschooling students. This is art appreciation, art creation. I'm really heavy on teaching them about art movements, the artists, history, museums, things that connect, and then art technique as well. And then we output with art projects and fun things like that. And we're just doing a wide array. And so this week I'm launching for the school year. So I provide art for the entire school year for your kids. And if you want to stay on during the summer, I'm going to give them a self-paced box to go through for the summer to keep them busy, but it's on your schedule. So I'll show you all the details. Let me just move myself around here. You can see here some of the things we've been doing. We did a Japanese patterns and design class. Right now, we're in the middle of working on our miniature museums, and we're filling our museums up with Impressionist art. We're learning about Impressionism art, Impressionism. And I've done watercolor classes, drawing classes, all kinds of things. And I'll share more about that later. These are the live streams that we did. On Wednesday, I had an evening with parents to tell you and to help you if you were to plan a trip to a museum or a gallery and you just wanted to have something a little more to make the trip memorable, to make it more rich experience. So I help you talk through some things, questions you can ask, and pretty much the steps that I go through every class. We're observing art and we don't learn about it till after we've had some time. And then we do some other things. And I give you lots of tips for that. So if you're interested in that, or even just introducing art or observation in the day-to-day, I've got some good tips for that. So I talked this whole time on the wrong screen. The first one I did was how Kids Art Tour began. I'm rushing a little bit, sorry. I'm trying to make this concise for you all so you don't have to watch a really long video. So what I really started out with was how Kids Art Tour began and ended and began again. So we've got a little bit of a story and we're starting back again. I started last year, but we're back to where we kind of were a few years ago, and I share about that. In that as well, I share my story as an artist. So this was me right after graduation, and you can see a very large 5 by 7 foot commission that I did. And I've been painting for a really long time. This is my studio in New Jersey. See how young I am? This was a long time ago. I'm a working artist. I've been a working artist for 23 years and working with galleries, doing shows, exhibitions, selling my art. I've also been teaching for a very long time. This was several years ago in my living room. Looks a little different now. And I was teaching homeschool kids how to draw from life. You can see that I've got still lifes up there to draw what they're seeing. I was also teaching art classes, painting in my living room. And then I worked at 171 teaching art classes there and implementing for the first time the art appreciation aspect, at least more. I did it before, but this was like pairing art appreciation and art history then with the kids outputting with an art project was started here. You can see some more. I also taught fine art, oil painting classes to adults and teens as well. And I teach a class to a group of retired, wonderful people. And some of them were artists before they retired, and some of them became artists after they retired. And I meet with them every week. I still do. And I torture them with drawing, just like I do my kids, but much harder. You can see the still life items that I have there for them to work on. So I am constantly teaching. I am doing my art. I am entering shows. So I'm a working artist. And I will teach your kids art technique as well as the art history and all of that. You can see some of my paintings here. This was this room before my house flooded, which is part of my story. If you want to watch the live stream a couple nights ago, what started and stopped Kids Art Tour before and how we got started again. So I am qualified to teach your kids art. I've been doing this for a really long time and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy showing them how to better draw, add value, edges, mix color, and all those things. And then we do what I was talking about before, um, give you some tips on how to explore art with your kids. How do you go to a museum without just going and looking? There's some things you can do really easy. You can go as deep as you want and just guide your kids towards certain steps to make it a deeper experience for them. So that was that live stream. And then yesterday I taught an art lesson. So that is it's on my website actually. If you go to kidsarttour.com and click through to the membership, I did post the video there. If you just want to see what art classes might be like. Now this was geared towards maybe the younger kids. I talked them through some of this art as they were young, observing and all that. Anyone can enjoy this. And then we did a little art project based on what we learned. So this is a sample lesson. So you can see also if you're thinking about doing online classes, but you're not sure how it would work out, it works out really well. Even though, well, it would work out better even because during my live online classes, I can see and talk to your kids and they can talk to me. And I have the document camera on to my table and they can see everything I'm doing and I can show them slides on the screen. So it's a really great tool. It works out really well. So if you want to check that out and see what it's like, you'll be able to see that. Okay, I have lots of format options. I'm teaching the same lessons. Their kids will get the same information, the same lessons, the same overall information. But depending on the age group, we may have a different art project. Sometimes it'll be exactly the same, but there'll be other times where I feel like the younger kids need a little more help or need something a little more fun. I'll be more heavy on technique and things like that with the older kids, but it will still be fun. So I teach in Horseheads, New York. I have a classroom in my home. This is a room that I'm in now, and I think I'll show you a picture of it in a little bit. All the supplies are provided. You just drop your child off, and then you pick them up. I also have the live online option, and I will ship your supplies to you. I feel like this is the best part. It's a big change from last year. Um, just to take that off your shoulders. There's some basic supplies, like I'm not going to send you scissors or Elmer's glue, just basic things like that. But I will send you the unique items that your child's going to need, things that are already printed out. You're not going to have to print things or figure things out. They will open the box. It will be in a bag. It will be organized, and they'll be able to like pull it out even just during our live stream. If they have it all there, I'll be able to help them get through it and pull out the things they need. And then I have the on-demand option. If your child is in regular school and cannot homeschool, cannot make it for our live streams, on-demand's perfect. It's also perfect if you want to take these classes, but at a more economical price. This will be access to the recordings of our live online classes. Everyone will have access to that. So if your kid is in person and they miss a class, you guys are traveling, you can watch the online class, and because everyone's getting the same lesson, they won't miss out on anything. And if I know ahead of time, if you're in person, I can send some supplies home as well, if that works out. So I will work with you and do everything that you need. And so everyone gets recordings and everyone gets supplies. I'm going to make it as easy as I possibly can for you. Here is my classroom. I'm sitting right here. And so we'll have the kids here. You can drop them off. I'll have all the supplies here ready to go. And here are just a look at the supplies in the box. And every month or every set of lessons, every unit, you will get a box, and I will make it very special. It will be a very special thing for your kids to open up. The colors are going to be beautiful, and I'll just make it I want to make it a really memorable, exciting experience for them. I want them to not be able to wait till art class. And after art class is over, for them to just stick around and keep going with their projects. I want them to desire to go to the library and check out books on the artists that we talked about. I just, it's just so fun. And it's more than art classes. They learn confidence, they learn their art skills, they learn how to work at something, they learn how to fail at something and learn. Um, so I've heard it said it's you either succeed or you learn. So it's not really failing. But to get that mindset of that, like just try new things. The consequences of what we would think is failing is so small. So I just really enjoy these classes. I enjoy watching the kids light up, and that's what I want when I give you kids the box. Also, this is our summer class. These are the boxes that I sent out. Um, I do handouts for the kids, and I provided a notebook this time because we had like almost a half inch worth of handouts for the summer with information on the museums and all that. So if they are a reader, if they enjoy just looking back through the lessons, they will have that with them. And this is just a look at some of the lessons that we've done since last summer. I did a color mixing class and we worked through color charts, did a landscape painting class. We talked about Monet's landscape paintings. And then just recently I had a Japanese patterns class, which is my favorite one. We talked through some ancient Japanese patterns that we still use today. We looked at the old paintings and drawings that have them on there. And then we recreated our own on little tiles. We made ceramics and put them on ceramics. And then the grand finale was that they named a Japanese shop and they could draw the storefront if they wanted. But they took products, they picked out what products they wanted to provide. And then I showed them how to create a collection to where they look like they go together. And then we added the patterns in with that. So that was such a fun class. And then right now, as I was saying before, we're going through our Impressionist art mini museums. So they are literally creating a museum. They decide on the floor plan. We talk about how to walk around a museum, how to guide your guests, how you want them to go around, different routes you can go, and different ways to display the art, curating a show. Do you want them to go on a journey of a story, or do you want to group it by artist? Or by color or by subject. So they get to choose all of that. And we talk about all that. And then every week we've been looking at an Impressionist artist. Monet Degas actually did landscape paintings. He's the ballerina guy. If you see a painting of a ballerina, he probably did it. But not many people know he did landscapes. So we did that. We did Van Gogh. We did Tiffany glass. I took Shrinky Dinks and we colored a Tiffany window and shrunk it so it looks like glass. Oh, and then this week I wanted to show you Impressionism. Here, a little art class for you all. Impressionism was such a big art movement that, like the other big art movements that just everyone becomes a part of, it affects a ton of different art outputs. You'll see architecture be affected, jewelry, design, ads, magazines, paintings, of course, and also fashion. So Impressionist fashion was because Impressionism also came about because people's lifestyles were changing. They wanted to be outdoors more. The artists wanted to paint what was happening now outside. Factories are going up. And so the art movements really start because culture and things are changing. And so during the Impressionist period, they were getting better dyes. So we had these really bright colors. Patterns got to be really popular. Look at these huge black and green stripes. I love this dress so much. And then they started going outside, just like the artists did. They started painting outside, but people were living their lives outside. So then casual wear became popular, and white was the color for casual wear. And they also had department stores pop up now. Now people who weren't rich enough to stay in style because they couldn't, have a dress made every now and then, they could go to a department store. And the other thing that happened, black. The color black was now not just for mourning. It became a fashion statement. And in fact, it was called the Queen of All Colors. So I took all of this and gave them a bunch of really nice fabric I had so much fun picking it out. And then we made our little mannequins and fashion design. Did that this week actually. So that was so much fun. So that just gives you another glimpse of the things that we're going to be doing and just the fun stuff. I'm enjoying it. I know the kids are going to enjoy it. Here is a sneak peek for what is coming in September in just a few weeks. We are doing illustrators and illustration this year. So all throughout the year, we're going to be covering illustrators. We're going to sit with them for a few weeks and really deep dive, learn about the illustrator themselves, learn about their technique, try to mimic their technique, and just pull from it. Some illustrators, there's one in particular that I'm going to talk about composition with. There's one in particular that I'm going to talk about experiencing what your characters are experiencing. This artist painted paintings of cowboys and things like that. He went and worked with on a farm with cattle for months and months, and he rode a horse. And so he experienced the things that the characters he was going to be painting and drawing experienced. So we're going to pull from all the artists that we're learning about and then output with art. So this is the sneak peek. Adults, I think you probably know who our first person is. There's a little clue right here. And so we're going to be painting, and I got some really cute fabric because some characters need fabric, and we're going to have fun with that. And then I have this really awesome tool for drawing lines, and we're going to get these cool lines in with your kids. And I'm so looking forward to giving them these special cool things that I have found. I didn't learn about this tool till I was in college. And I love it. It's almost my favorite tool, especially when I'm illustrating. It's like, gotta find, it's called a rolling pen. So your kids will be enjoying that greatly. Oh, okay. I have a student to add to my board. I got one more yesterday. So this is my palette of students, and it's grown. I think I had 11 students last year. This is student number 18. So I think I'm going to put her, I don't know. I'm going to put her here. I have space. I have some space. And if it fills up today, I have a plan. I have something else to do. So get your child on my palette. My beautiful students. Let's see what's next. I can't remember. Oh, well, I guess we're wrapping up. So that was an overview of everything we've done this week. You can check out the lesson on my website. When you click and we want art lessons, it takes you to the membership page. And just about right on top is the art lesson that I taught live stream earlier this week. Sit your kids down. You just need paper and marker, and they'll have a fun time. And then you can just see how art lessons go online and all the things we're going to be able to do because it's online. So let me know if you have any questions. Go to the website. Registration closes tonight at midnight. Email me, message me, and I'm available to you today. So have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you later. Goodbye.